these before are gravitation, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force, and weak nuclear force. So all of this is to say that when we go to describe what we know about the universe, these are sort of the fundamentals that we are trying to explain. So wouldn't it be so nice if there was a more general theory that not only described the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, or electromagnetic force, but also described gravitation? So once again, for example, to make it more specific, what I mean by unification of the two sides of physics, what I mean is, for example, this. There are four fundamental forces, once again, gravitation, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force, and weak nuclear force. Wouldn't it be nice to have a beautiful, general, elegant theory of everything that explains all four? Is there such a theory? What is it? And that is what the grand unification theory would be, and that is what string theory has the goal to do, right? And it is a candidate for such a unification. But remember that there were other efforts as well. To some extent, we actually see a unification of the non-gravitational forces. So we've talked about this as well in the past, that actually, depending on the regime that you're in, depending on the energy regime that you're in, the scales that you're in, you can actually unify electromagnetism with strong and weak nuclear forces. So depending on your approach, you can actually kind of unify those. And it was said that there might have been a time early on in the universe after the Big Bang when things were very hot, very dense, very tiny scales, very energetic, very different temperatures. At that point, perhaps they were actually unified. And then then we got a cooling of the universe, then we got expansion in the universe, and and we see that they are manifesting as different types of forces at this point. Electromagnetic force works at a different scale and has a different kind of strength. Strong nuclear force works at a different scale and has a different kind of strength. Weak nuclear force works at a different type of scale and has a different kind of strength. And of course, in particle physics, the force carriers for all of these forces is also different. Electromagnetic force is carried by the photons. Strong nuclear force is carried by the gluons. This is another force carrier particle. The weak nuclear force is carried by the W and Z bosons, another force carrying particle.